Hello, I am Dr. Rajshree Chatterjee, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Jagannath University, Jaipur.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Prasar Bharati Act 1990. Prasar Bharati is India's largest public broadcasting agency, headquartered in New Delhi, India. It is a statutory autonomous body set up by an Act of Parliament and comprises the Doordarshan television network and All India Radio, which were earlier media units of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The Parliament of India passed the Prasar Bharati Act to grant this autonomy in 1990, but it was not enacted until 15 September 1997. The Prasar Bharati Board chairperson's position remains vacant since Dr. A. Surya Prakash departed office in February 2020. He had succeeded Dr. Mrinal Pandey. Shashi Shekhar Vempati is the CEO of Prasar Bharati. He succeeded Jawahar Sarkar, who was the CEO until November 2016. Let's discuss the regulations issued by TRAI in the course of its function. It issues regulations with respect to various aspects of telecom industry. TRAI regulations generally deal with interconnection issues, usage charges, agreement and revenue sharing, quality of the telecom services, consumer protection and redressal of grievance including unsolicited commercial communication, access to essential infrastructure such as cable landing stations, mobile number portability. Let's discuss government's control over TRAI. TRAI is not a completely independent telecom regulator. The government exercises certain amount of control over TRAI. Under Section 25 of this Act, it has the power to issue directions which are binding on Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. The TRAI is also funded by the central government. Moreover, under Section 35 of the TRAI Act, the central government has the power to make rules on various subjects. Such rules are binding upon TRAI. Therefore, TRAI is not completely independent telecom regulator as envisioned by the Supreme Court. What are the powers and functions of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India? The functions of the TRAI are enumerated under Section 11 of the TRAI Act. The function mentioned under the provision has an overriding effect on any provision in the Indian Telegraph Act 1885. The 2000 amendment classified the TRAI's function into four broad categories. First, making recommendations on various issues. Second, general administrative and regulatory functions. Third is fixing tariffs and rates for telecom services. And any other functions entrusted by the central government. It is very important to note that the 2000 amendment classified TRAI's functions in these categories, and the function mentioned under the provision has an overriding effect on any provision of the Indian Telegraph Act 1885. Although TRAI is not a completely independent telecom regulator, the government exercises certain amount of control over TRAI. Let's discuss the composition and functions of the corporation. With effect from such date as the central government may by notification appoint in this behalf, there shall be established for the purposes of this Act a corporation to be known as Prasar Bharati, Broadcasting Corporation of India. The corporation shall be a body corporate by the name aforesaid. having perpetual succession and a common seal with the power to acquire, hold, and dispose of property, both movable and immovable, and to contract, and shall be by the said name sued and to be sued. The headquarter of the corporation shall be at New Delhi, and the corporation may establish offices, kendra, or stations at other places in India with the previous approval of the central government outside India. The general superintendent's direction and management of the affairs of the corporation shall vest in the Prasar Bharati board, which may exercise all such powers and do all such acts and things as may be exercised or done by the corporation under this act. The board shall consist of 1. A chairman, 1 executive member, 1 member of finance, 1 member of personnel, 6 part-time members, 1 director general of Akashvani, who is the ex officio, 1 director general of Doordarshan, ex officio, and 1 representative of the Union Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, to be nominated by the ministry. 2 representatives of the employees of the corporation, of whom 1 shall be elected by the engineering staff, and from amongst themselves 1 shall be elected by the other employee from the amongst themselves. The corporation may appoint such committees as may be necessary for the efficient performance, exercise, and discharge of its functions, powers, and duties, provided that all or a majority of the members of each committee shall be members and member of any such committee who is not a member shall have only 1 the right to attend meetings of the committee and take part in the proceedings thereof, but shall not have the right to vote. The corporation may associate with itself in such manner and for such purposes as may be provided by the regulations. Any person whose assistance or advice it may need in complying with any of the provisions of this act, and a person so associated shall have the right to take part in the discussions of the board relevant to the purposes for which he has been associated, but shall not have the right to vote. No act or proceedings of the board or any committee appointed by it under Section 6 shall be invalidated merely by reason of: first, any vacancy in or any defect in the constitution of the board or such committee, or any defect in the appointment of a person acting as a member or a member of such committee, or any irregularity in the procedure of the board or such committee not affecting the merits of the case. No act or proceedings of the board or of any committee appointed by it under subsection 6 shall be invalidated merely by reasons of the following. Okay, let's proceed with other points. Functions of the council. The corporation shall, in the discharge of its functions, be guided by the following objectives, namely: upholding the unity and integrity of the country and the values enshrined in the Constitution, safeguarding the citizens' right to be informed freely, truthfully, and objectively on all matters of public interest, national or international, and presenting a fair and balanced flow of information, including contrasting views without advocating any opinion or ideology of its own. Paying special attention in the fields of education and spread of literacy, agriculture, rural development, environment, health and family welfare, and science and technology. Providing adequate coverage to the diverse culture and language of the various regions of the country by broadcasting appropriate programs. Providing adequate coverage to sports and games as to encourage healthy competition and the spirit of sportsmanship. Providing appropriate programs keeping in view the special needs of the youth. Informing and stimulating the national consciousness in regard to the status and problems of women and paying special attention to the upliftment of women. Promoting social justice and combating exploitation, inequality, and such evils as untouchability and advancing the welfare of the weaker section of the society. Safeguarding the rights of the working class and advancing their welfare. Serving the rural and weaker section of the people and those residing in the border region, backwards or remote areas. Providing suitable programs keeping in view the special needs of the minorities and tribal communities. Taking special steps to protect the interest of children, the blind, the aged, the handicapped, and other vulnerable sections of the society. It is very important that the corporation should keep a keen interest in promoting national integration by broadcasting in a manner that facilitates communication in the languages in India and facilitating the distribution of regional broadcasting services in every state in the languages of that of the state. Providing comprehensive broadcast coverage through the choice of appropriate technology and the best utilization of the broadcast frequencies available and ensuring high quality reception. Promoting research and development activities in order to ensure that radio and television broadcast technologies are constantly updated. Expanding broadcasting facilities by establishing additional channels of transmission at various levels. In particular, without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing provisions, the corporation may take steps as it thinks fit. First, to ensure that broadcasting is conducted as a public service to provide and produce programs. To establish a system for the gathering of news for radio and television. To negotiate the purpose of and otherwise acquire programs and rights or privileges in respect of sports and other events, films and serials, occasions, meetings, functions, or incidents of public interest for broadcasting and to establish procedures for the allocation of such programs, rights or privileges to the services. To establish and maintain a library or libraries of radio, television, and other materials. To conduct or commission from time to time programs, audience research, market or technical service, which may be released to such persons and in such manner and subject to such terms and conditions as the corporation may think fit. To provide other services as may be specified by the regulations. It is very important to keep in mind that the corporation focus mainly on promoting national integration by broadcasting in a manner that facilitates communication in the languages in India and facilitating the distribution of regional broadcasting services in every state in the languages of that state, providing comprehensive broadcast coverage through the choice of appropriate technology and the best utilization of the broadcast frequencies available and ensuring high quality reception. Promoting research and development activities in order to ensure that radio and television broadcast and technology are constantly updated. And expanding broadcasting facilities by establishing additional channels of transmission at various levels. So in this topic, we have discussed the composition, functions, and the purpose of Prasar Bharati. We have also discussed the regulations of Prasar Bharati in accordance with the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. It has also to be noted that what kind of regulations the Prasar Bharati has given to Doordarshan on All India Radio, and what are the future perspectives of Prasar Bharati for ensuring broadcasting to be conducted as a public service and to provide and produce programs. Thank you so much.